Today we've got a real gem from a CEO on LinkedIn who seems to think firing people is a sport. The narcissism is out of control. Meet Darren Mass, who's very proud of firing 26 people. Yes, you heard that right. The CEO's out here actually bragging about the number of lives he's turned upside down. Just in this first section here, boasting about firing a significant number of people as if it's a personal achievement, and using that to highlight actions that demonstrate power and control over others. So Darren Mass claims to be growing your business and brand, and as a CEO of what? Not super sure. I fired 26 people as a CEO, and I'm very proud of that. Did you get a trophy for that? Maybe a gold star? This isn't a sports game where you brag about how many points you scored by firing people. It's just a big red flag that screams, avoid at all costs. I mean, imagine meeting someone for the first time and their fun fact is, I fired 26 people. It's not impressive. It's terrifying. It's like introducing yourself as the Grim Reaper of careers. Just as you wouldn't want a CEO like Darren firing you out of nowhere, you don't want your personal information exposed online. And that's where today's sponsor Aura comes in. If you've never heard of Aura before, they're like the Swiss Army knife of online safety software. Aura helps protect your online data and keeps your identity safe from cyber threats. Living in an RV full-time, I'm constantly on the move and using various public Wi-Fi networks, which can be risky to say the least, but that's why I use Aura's VPN to keep my internet connection secure and private. Aura also offers comprehensive identity theft protection. They monitor my personal information across the dark web and alert me if my data's found. That gives me peace of mind knowing that Aura is keeping an eye out on any suspicious activity related to my identity. Another feature I use a lot is Aura's transaction monitoring since, again, I'm always traveling, I need to stay on top of my finances. And I know it works because Aura's alerted me to a few unusual transactions. And their credit monitoring tool helps me keep track of my credit score and get updates on any changes, ensuring that there are no surprises. Oh, and you can freeze your credit too, that way there's no funny business. Additionally, Aura has parental controls and they're a lifesaver to customize what content your kids can and can't view online. And if there's ever a breach, Aura immediately alerts you and provides steps to secure your accounts. Whether it's safeguarding your social media accounts, protecting your financial information, or securing your personal data, Aura's got you covered. And you have nothing to lose because you get 2 weeks free if you click my link down in the description. Go make sure you're secure on the internet. Thanks so much to Aura for sponsoring today's video. But back to the narcissism here. He makes a flippant remark about not enjoying firing people, but being bothered by it, followed by a joking aside. Not because I enjoyed firing those people. Well, in fact, every single one bothered me. Well, maybe all but one. Winky face. Nothing like a good joke about causing unemployment to really lighten the mood. Maybe next you can do stand-up at a soup kitchen, because the complete lack of empathy here is the real punchline. This isn't a sitcom where you laugh off serious issues. It's people's lives, and making light of such a serious situation shows you might be lacking some basic decency. The minimization of other people's suffering is a common narcissistic trait, as you'll find. I mean, all I have to do is read the next sentence. With a click of your fingers, someone loses their job. Others are affected. Their family hurts. With the click of your fingers, you can fire someone too, but you're not supposed to enjoy that part. Wink. You Thanos now? Snapping away jobs like half the universe's population? This is not a superhero movie. It's real life. People don't just disappear. Imagine reducing someone's livelihood to a finger snap. Maybe next time, try considering the real world impact instead of pretending that you're in an Avengers movie. When you trivialize something this serious, it really shows that you're more interested in the drama than the reality. It's a brutal experience, but as a leader, you have to be good at firing people. Because if someone isn't A, doing their job, B, gelling with the team, C, a pleasure to work with, D, the right fit for the role, then you have to let them go. Oh, so now you're reducing someone's career to a multiple choice quiz? People are complex. They have good days, bad days. Being a pleasure to work with also depends on you. It's not like they come with user manuals where you just tick boxes and decide their fate. People aren't widgets on an assembly line. They have ups and downs, strengths and weaknesses. If someone isn't gelling, maybe it's time to look at your leadership. Maybe try engaging with them as humans. How about asking what support they need instead of checking them off your list like expired groceries? But this is how some CEOs see their employees. Why let one bad apple spoil the whole dang bunch? Ah, yes, the classic bad apple metaphor, because clearly the best way to deal with a problem is to chuck it out the window and hope the rest of the apples don't notice. What kind of ruthless approach is this? If your solution to every problem is to be good at firing people, you're not leading. You're managing through fear. You're just going to get a toxic, fear-driven culture. And this isn't a produce section, Darren. A culture where everyone fears being the next bad apple does not breed productivity. It breeds anxiety. Just a complete willingness to discard people rather than address underlying issues. Maybe the problem is the orchard. So when that person appears in your company, always be quick to relinquish. Maybe you should relinquish being a CEO. Oh yeah, P.S. Have you ever had to fire someone? What are your best firing tips? Oh yeah, here's a selfie of me right here, public figure, CEO. Let's talk about firing people and take a picture of ourselves. P.S. You got any firing tips out there? Absolutely. Let me just share my top 10 ways to go ahead and take away someone's livelihood. What goes through your mind to think, yeah, a picture of my face. You better know when to fire people. P.S. Asking for firing tips like it's some skill to be honed in just shows to me at least complete detachment from the human element. So let's just sum it up here. Firing as a measure of success. Firing that many people means you either hire terribly or like you just can't develop your staff. Either way, it's a leadership fail. Blaming employees for not fitting in without looking at your leadership's role in their failure. Pointing fingers is easy. Taking responsibility is leadership. If your team is failing, it reflects on your inability to lead, not their inability to perform. And then we have toxic culture. And I don't see how there's any way not to create a toxic culture where firing is seen as a regular tool. If employees are constantly worried about being fired, they're not going to take risks or think outside the box for your company. And you're not fostering innovation, you're fostering a workforce of scared robots. Like if your employees are more focused on job security than their actual job, that's a leadership problem. And then we have the human impact of it all, which I'm not sure if you know what those words mean, but each firing is actually a personal and financial blow to that individual and their family. And celebrating that is celebrating hardship. If you're high-fiving yourself over firing people, you've missed the point of leadership entirely. Like think about the ripple effect, the stress, the financial strain, the impact on someone's mental health. Like leaders understand the gravity and handle them with the seriousness they deserve. Usually they get HR to do it for them, but it doesn't seem like you have one. Maybe you should get one. If your leadership style is more Game of Thrones than an NBA sports team, and it's probably time to reevaluate. So there you have it, folks. Just another CEO on LinkedIn talking about leadership as if they're a shining example and know anything about it, but behaving completely the opposite. Thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and subscribe for more videos calling out this corporate nonsense. Having said all that, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.